Hi. Hi. It's Wednesday, February 7th, and I got the nudge to go on. I had a nudge to get on. It's Wednesday, February 7th, in case I missed that bit. But hi. Here we are. Here we are again. Because I had a nudge to get on. Because I don't know whether any of you saw Carney's and Trump's meeting that was televised, the press event. It's not really their meeting. Their meeting was behind closed doors. No one knows the full negotiation. They just share what they want to share, and Trump shared a lot of yak, yada. The US has been done wrong. The world's taken advantage of us. Yada. Um, and and Carney, his face gave away a lot, but there was nothing. He was very polite because he's in the White House in front of cameras. Of course, he's polite. This man has dealt with world leaders and corporate leaders for decades, and is very diplomatic. So of course, he did a good job, but he was quiet. And there wasn't a lot of pushback until he said, Trump said something. The press asked about the 51st state, and Trump said, oh, that would be lovely. It's a lovely piece of real estate, and yada, yeah, a spiel. And Carney said, well, as you know, with real estate, there's some real estate that is not for sale. Like the White House isn't for sale, and Buckingham Palace isn't for sale. And I toured Canada, and the Canadians, he didn't say the Canadians, and the owners of Canada don't want to sell, meaning Canadians don't want to sell. So that provoked some comments. Some people didn't understand he was saying Canadians. Duh. How dense can you be? And then the comments were that Trump, who spoke, I bet 95% of the time, if not 98% of the time, was a strong man, projected strength, and Carney was weak. And I'm like, this is so interesting to see the two views of the same situation. It happens all the time, right? It's kind of like it happens all the time. Ask anyone in a family about some family event that may have been kind of controversial, whatever, and everyone was there. And what happened? And everyone's got a different story, or even if it's similar, there's variations to it. So what is going on now in the world, though, is super interesting and exciting in many ways, is that you can literally see the split. You can see the two worlds entirely. So your choice is what world you want to live in. What do you choose? So, and what are you focusing upon? So when you notice what's going on, and you notice perhaps your friends or your family getting sucked into that other world, and you're like, huh? And I know it's easy to go along with that, just because it makes it easier. But you can do like Carney did. He kind of went, and he did a little head tilt, and he got a journalist in the Globe and Mail called it. You could see when his soul left his body as he was listening to Trump explain tariffs and economics to him. And I just laughed. I mean, she said it far better than I ever could. Look on my page, because, of course, I posted that. So it is happening, and that we are all getting to choose. What kind of world do we want to live in? What do we want to experience? What do we choose? And I choose kindness. I choose inclusivity. I include a diverse world, even though some of it may rub me a little bit the wrong way. But, I'm reminded, and this is a happy and a sad story. I went into the Circle K, which used to be Max, I think, up the street. I used to go in there all the time. Parma and his wife Sonia own it. They've been there for years, and I haven't been in years because I stopped smoking. Haven't been in years, and I went in because I needed to split of 10, so I bought a coffee, a split of 20 because I needed 10 because I was picking up a stroller for my grandson off Marketplace. And so I went in, and Parma, he looks and he remembers me, and he goes, Linda. He didn't remember me, he remembered my name. How are you? I said, I'm good. How are you? He said, I haven't seen you in forever. You've lost a lot of weight. Oh, cool. Thanks for noticing. Because when you haven't seen anyone in a long time versus daily, right? So he said, where have you been? I said, well, I did quit smoking. Well, you can still come in and say hello. I said, fair point. He said, were you worried about me? I said, why would I be worried about you? Is there something I should worry about? And then I looked and I said, you have a scar there. What's that all about? He said, well, I was getting ready for work one morning. I'm in the bathroom, brushed my teeth. And he said, I just passed out. He said, they ran all sorts of tests and they couldn't find out what's wrong. I said, well, that's good. Everything's good, right? He says, Sonia's here. Go talk to Sonia. So I go to say hello to Sonia, who also, hi, how are you? We've missed you. And I said, how is some of the old staff that, I said, what about, and his name's Milan, as I found out. What about Milan? How is he? And I said, the accountant, that tall young man, the accountant, he was so sweet, such a delicious looking young man. So sweet, so smart, went to work at an aeronautic space place in Abbotsford as accounting, like his just beyond. And I had lots of great conversations with him, including, he couldn't get married till his sister got married. I said, how is he? And she said, he died. And I was like, what? He died? Now you have to understand, before I was picking up this stroller, and the energy around it was really odd. I'm thinking, should I not be getting this stroller? This is I didn't know, and I guess I didn't ask the right questions. I thought, well, I'm picking it off the door stoop. I'm supposed to leave the money underneath the mat, which is why I had to go and get money. She wouldn't be home. I'm thinking, what if someone took all of this? So anyway, they knew, my guides knew I would go to the Circle K to get what I needed to get to give the cash. That was the energy. I just wasn't asking the right questions. So he did get married. His sister got married, and 6 months later, he got married to a woman that he met at a bank. She was from Hong Kong, and they married in India because she was Indian as well. They got married in India. He came back. He had a headache. He thought it had something to do, and it was brain cancer, and he went very quickly. And it brought me to tears. I was like, no, no. And then I said to Sonia, but he got married. He got to get married. He got to have that experience. So I was happy for him in that. And I'm sad, I don't know his family, and sad for Sonia and Parma because they were like family to him. And so it's interesting how the energies roll around. So there's, Parma and Sonia that have owned this business, where a lot of kids from the high school come in. A lot of kids. They get inundated with kids, and yet they know the kids. Those kids are so good in that store. And if they do anything, Parma doesn't call the police. He just calls them over and to talk to them off to the side or off in his office and settles it then and there himself. And so they treat him kindly because he treats them kindly, and he shows them respect, and he knows all his customers. They come in and he knows everyone. So there's this Indian family, and I believe they are Hindu. Sweetest couple. So I don't know what that was. So here we are. We're that's part of my world, part of my lovely world, and I guess the energies was Milan was saying, like, you're going to hear, and I'm hearing. He says, thank you for all the kind words and the encouragement that you gave me. You're welcome. You're welcome, Milan. You're welcome. So that's that. So the two worlds. So pay attention to your, pay attention to the energies, and maybe think to ask more questions than I asked in this particular situation. So I got a lovely, lovely, lovely stroller for when my grandson comes down, because their car's too small to do stroller, a dog, and two adults, and all the stuff that is required with a baby. So the two worlds. So Carney, who has now literally made his debut on the international stage, and European countries are loving him. New Zealand, Australia, everyone's, that's kind of like a master class, and yet others are going, it wasn't, they can't see it. And that's what I'm saying, they can't see it. So you can't see what your mind is not open to, what your heart, or rather, I'm hearing from your heart, what your heart is open to. So in order to see these things, your frequency has to be raised up to a certain level to see the broader picture, as it were, to see the heart involved in it. And so to raise your frequency with meditation, with walking in the woods, anything that cuts at that noise, that chatter that's out there in the world that inundates you so that you can't think clearly, or you can't feel, and just be who you are. So the energies are particularly kind of strong right now. My sleep was highly disrupted last night with odd dreams, vivid odd dreams, lots of traveling, trying to catch a train, in a car, like it just I woke up exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So that may be happening to you too. Or it might be the opposite, because everyone's responding to the energies differently as it's coming in, and it's trying to find room in your energetic field to integrate. And it will hang out there, as this young woman explained in the Schumann resonance. It will hang out around you until it can, and it can create a little bit of dissonance. It's like, think of yourself being in a really happy place, and then you go into a place that's not so happy, and you feel that shift. It's like palatable. And with people around you. I took my husband to an eye specialist today, and he was stressed about it, and I could feel his stress. It was not comfortable to be an empath all the time. I knew it was his. I knew I had to bite my tongue and let it play out and not get annoyed with him, but oof. Can I say that again? Oof. I watch a show called Parisian Agency, and the young guy in it, when they see these beautiful homes that they're selling, it's set in France, in Paris, and he goes, oof. So that's an oof. So one card, 13 minutes. Great. I'm going to hit the 15, 16, 17. So one card. So I'm asking for a card for everyone today as you're navigating these energies, as you're navigating the unsettledness in the world. They're picking a new pope today. That some of you may be picking up on that energy. It all depends where your attention lies, what energies you're picking up on, right? It's a lot of stuff, a lot of rearranging going on, a lot of people exiting the planet and making room for the new beings who are like, I want in. This is exciting times. I want to be in on it. Just like we did. Exactly like we did. It's not, in my mind, it's not a happenstance. We get a choice. Are you ready? And my sense was like, yeah, I want in. And they're like, are you sure? It's not been that long since your last. Are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I want in. They're like, okay, are you sure? And apparently I was very sure. And so my life's been interesting. I have lots of stuff going on. It's not been a normal life. But on the other hand, I know people who've had even more interesting lives than mine, more unsettled, more stuff going on, and then others where they don't. So it all depends what experiences you need to I'm hearing flesh out your physical experience and your soul experience on planet Earth. Okay. Okay, good, cool. Yes. That, yes. And that, yeah. Another one? No. So choose your friends wisely. Whoop, here we go in again. Choose your friends wisely. So there's a woman there, and she's got hands. Her hands are held out with two hands, sun, and then the moon. It's kind of that light and dark. So choose your friends wisely right now, because that's the energy that you will be bathing in part, and that's who you trust with your heart and with your innermost feelings and your thoughts. And you need to be able to trust your friends around that to feel safe enough to be vulnerable. Okay, and they're bringing in mind when we were going to the eye specialist, there were two young men, obviously on fentanyl, stoned, and they were sitting at a bus, slumped over the bus stop. I like rag dolls, I just like rag dolls. And I said to my husband, sad, and I said, and how vulnerable they are in that situation. And I'd like to find out from someone in the know, because I saw one on a bike in a bike lane, and then I'm like, I would have if I knew how someone reacted, I would have turned around and said, let's get you onto the grass verge, right? But I didn't know. And so we passed those two, and I said to my husband, they're so vulnerable. They're vulnerable to their stuff being stolen. They're vulnerable to being beaten up by whoever decides that they're a handy target because they're angry about stuff. So you need friends that you can be vulnerable around, that you can share yourself with, and they're not going to poo-poo you. Right? Okay. And the classic, count your blessings. And there's lots to count. There's a peace dove on this card, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. 13's a lucky number in our family, so I will take that as lucky. Count my blessings. Count your blessings. Count what's going right in your life. Count every single little thing until you realize they all add up to a pretty nice life. Count the little things. Count your blessings. Write it down if you have to. Notice the little things. Notice the fact that you can go to the grocery store and buy food without really thinking twice about it. Notice that you could maybe stop and get a coffee at a coffee store and it not be a big deal, a big hit to your pocketbook. Notice that you have a house over a roof over your head, that you have family, or that you have friends, that you have animal companions, perhaps. Notice all the little things. Those are biggish things, but notice all the little things. Notice being outside and the sun shining on you and the air, and the birds are singing and flitting about. There's all the things that light you up. Okay? That's it. That's all. Notice those. So choose your friends wisely and count your blessings. Two important things to remember in these times, challenging times of massive change and shift. You get to choose how you see the world. You get to choose whether you're going to decide that it's all going to be okay. Does it feel like it's all going to be okay? I feel like it's all going to be okay. What it will take to get to that okay, I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. I have a sense of it sometimes, but all the specifics of it, not a clue. But I know it's all going to be okay. So you can believe me, or believe your fears and anxiety, or believe other people's fears and anxiety, or you can tap into your own true self that says it's all going to be okay. Okay? So on that note, I say so long, farewell. I'm going to try and do this every day. Take care of yourselves, and be kind to yourself, and be kind to your friends and loved ones. And everyone you come across, just be kind. It's a movement. Let's start a movement, a kindness movement. I have a friend that actually did that. I'm not even going to go into that story. We'll save that for another day. Follow up that with kindness in your world. Okay, go for your joy. Bye.